Welcome to America's Heroes Group.
We're live back on the air. So as we were all sharing our 8 years of America's Heroes Group moments and how we all come together, National Women Veterans United, we have been proud to partner with you all because you are the women of the military.
Absolutely.
And you, Rochelle, brings the excellence and integrity that matches these men. So thank you so much for coming aboard.
Yeah.
You did 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. So pull the microphone around and just tell why you joined and what it has meant to you to be a part of America's Heroes Group.
Well, first of all, I would just like to just say you all have been the best. The best, you know, when it comes to radio and talking about all those issues that mean so much to women veterans, but in veterans particular. You know, all of the people who you've had here, you know, I know Glenda has been a lot of running. She's done a lot of running trying to make this work. And for us, it's been an opportunity, you know, and that opportunity has led us to other people. It has also allowed us to do more things in a community for the women who need us the most. And so, you know, this has been a great, great spin, I would say, the time that you've been here and that you've allowed us to have our platform here. Cliff, you've been the best. All of you all have been the best, but we thank you from the bottom of our heart, but not just what you've done here, but for the years and years and years. I don't want to make it sound like it's antiquated, but you've done so much in your lifetime. You know, this couldn't have happened without you, and we know that. So, and thank you so much for allowing us and loving us and letting us be a part of all of what you all have been standing for. You know, you've made veterans understand how important it is just to be a veteran and let people know that they're veteran, because, you know, so many have gone and not identified themselves as veteran, in particular women veterans. So,
Right.
Dr. Arnold, you have been there and, you know, you served, Shauna served, you served Anessa, and, you know, that's what makes it real. It makes it real because we're telling our own stories along the way. What you said is what you have experienced. People can't dispute anything that you say because you've been there. You've been in battle. You've been land, air, and sea. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful ride, and we've been just honored to have been a part of this. So thank you so much for allowing us to be with you. It's great.
No, thank you, Rochelle, because I mean,
That's right.
what you've done with National Women's Veterans United is a one-of-a-kind thing, and an organization that speaks to things that we don't normally hear about. And one of the things that I think is really important, organizations like yours tithe and kind of shed light for civilians what it's like to be a veteran. A lot of people don't acknowledge the fact that there's women veterans out here and who have served just as hard and who have been in combat
Yeah,
and never got the combat credit.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and one thing about that, Rochelle, I've been watching you for years, you know, but you've been doing so many great things, bringing into existence what women are doing.
Yeah.
First of all, the women veterans are American citizens,
Yes,
and they are defending the country
yes,
against enemies, domestic and foreign, and have been there since the beginning of time.
absolutely.
Not just recently, you know, some people are, so since the beginning of time.
Yes,
And unlike some people, I don't want to get too political on this one, but in a very nonpartisan way,
yes,
I want to say to disparage someone like John McCain, disparage veterans and call them
yes,
garbage or, you know, losers
Yeah.
and suckers and all that
Yes.
is unacceptable.
Totally.
It is, to me, to support someone like that would be violating my right as a veteran to exist, first of all, and it would be going against the country, against the essence of democracy and what we're supposed to be standing for. And so anyone who does that, I would be a traitor if I did that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
that's the first thing, and that's just nonpartisan. Uh,
And I think
You heard that, Milwaukee?
I'm going to make reference into your inference of what you're saying, because when I heard it, it broke my heart, because I realized that I didn't do it because I didn't have courage. I didn't do it because I was scared. So if you don't have courage and you're scared, say that and be okay with saying that, but don't mock military population of retired active family members, and because it's all one unit, because we sleep and we don't know what the hell you all have seen, have done, what you have to live with.
Yes.
We walk by freedom of this country to say whatever we want to say, whether it's respectful or not, because our military, be damned if you cross the line by air, land, or sea, thinking you're going to come over here and attack us. That's because they don't do it because you guys are standing the line and have stood the line. So when I heard that, it took me to a whole different level of dedication to let you guys know, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I am free in this country because of our military.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And I've met the senators and congressional members from both sides of the aisle
Yes.
that were wonderful people. I
Yeah.
met John McCain on 3 different occasions. He was always very cordial, very. I didn't always agree with his policies. Sometimes I did agree with his policies.
Yeah.
And his wife is impeccable, Cindy. I mean, so I look at that, and I look at this and say, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you talk about this man who I knew was an honorable person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He, during his candidacy for presidency, he said, don't say that about him. President Obama's an honorable person.
Yeah, he did.
That's the kind of person that has character and
Yeah.
integrity, the one that I want my kids to have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well stated.
Yeah, and on that note, Dr. Arnold,
Yeah.
you brought up a great point about integrity, honor, and honor and integrity particularly are 2 tenets of the military. Particularly, we know in the Army, that's look like a soldier, think like a soldier, act like a soldier, at all times. If John McCain was a prisoner of war, and he had the opportunity because he was an admiral's son, was it? Or it was an admiral's son, I believe, and the Vietnamese were going to let him go. He had an opportunity to leave, but he stayed because he wanted his fellow service members to go first. If the individual that's running for president right now for a certain conservative party, do you think he would let you go first if you were in a foxhole or if you were in a prison with him? If he had the opportunity to save his butt first and leave you behind, do you think he would do that? Do you trust him like you trust John McCain? That's all I had to ask.
Well, the round table is
No
back, and
saying.
this is how we got started,
No
just
saying.
like this. So it's
Glenda, at least you didn't have bone spurs or anything like that to
I didn't
keep
have.
you.
I
Yeah,
just
I
didn't
understand.
I didn't have the courage in my heart. I
Well-
was so excited. I had started to help them recruit. I was following it. Sweet Georgia Brown. We would go there and have
On
cocktails.
Stony Island?
After they
Okay.
would close the
I
U.S.
remember.
Marines office that was
Yeah.
overseas.
Yeah, I remember.
We would go there, and I had started helping them recruit because I was so excited about putting. It was something about their uniform I was gonna wear because I'm a tomboy. I'm a tomboy, and I just saw myself in that uniform. But I just remember going back, and I remember crying, and they knew it, and they hugged me, and so I
But
just.
let me say that there's nobody any more patriotic than you are.
Absolutely.
That's
And
true.
You are certainly a
Absolutely.
patriot. And there are a lot of people out there, and I have conversations with people
Mm-hmm.
that don't like this country, don't appreciate what this country has done in World War II in particular, saving the world in World War I. You know, we were involved in some wars that maybe we shouldn't have been involved in. But this country is an indispensable country that has a strong military with people who are willing to put their lives on the line to maintain our freedom. And those people should be respected. And certainly by anybody running for office. I saw President Biden talking about D-Day. And even though he never served in the military, he nonetheless talks about the importance of D-Day and the sacrifices that 400,000 Americans died in World War II
Yeah. Absolutely.
to save the world from a Hitler, from a dictator.
Right.
And now we're kind of faced with something like that at this point in time.
Exactly.
And I hope people realize
I hope they
what
understand.
danger we're
Foreign
in.
policy
Excellent
is
point.
the number one priority. right now.
Excellent point.
Yeah, can I add one thing to what Ernesto was saying? And, I've been doing a lot of soul searching and research on history. And one of the things that really struck me is that after the post-Reconstruction period, we started going backsliding on human rights and all those things in the country. But after World War II, a lot of unjust laws were being pushed, the Jim Crow laws and those kinds of things in the South. And they were leading in the polls. So they almost won in the South to reinstitute those things. Guess what overturned it? It was the votes coming back, absentee votes from people who were in the service. Whites, African Americans,
That's right.
everyone who was in the service.
That's right.
It overturned, and in a landslide,
Yeah.
overturned the election.
Yeah.
Because the people who are in the military are honorable.
Yeah.
And that's what we need right now. We need people in the military to step up and do what's right. We are all part of the same family,
Yes.
and we cannot do something that's unjust in this country.
That's right.
And we need to be
Well
treated
stated.
the same way, you know, and it's still not, it's still there. Let me just say that.
It is.
It's still there.
It is.
It has not gone away. Women veterans are still invisible, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, and when we look at those things that the American Legion, DAV, VFW organizations, you know, we're still battling with them. Women are still battling with them, you know, because
Yes.
they were there first. You know what I'm saying? They were
Rochelle,
there
give your
first.
status of what National Women Veterans United is trying to establish right now, please.
Yeah, well, what it is, and I'm gonna get to that with that, what I'm saying is because it's so important that we understand when you start talking about congressional chartered organizations, they were there. They came here and you guys were far away. You could not be a part of their organizations. When they started their organizations, you had to later on start your own organizations because you couldn't go into the one that they were in. Now the same thing with women. Every time we came to a meeting, they wanted us to go to the auxiliary. They did not recognize us as women veterans. So those congressional charters basically were suspended to those organizations. One women veteran organization has a congressional charter, and they were World War II women. They were black women too, but they were open to all women veterans.
Yes.
They never sided with, okay, just the black can be here. It was always open to everyone.
Yes.
Now they would tell you that it's open to everyone here also, but you know what? When we go to places, we're still outnumbered. We're still the little pot over here that has to wait until you make all of the decisions because we don't even have a fair vote. And that's what's going on now, and that's the battle that we're in with the congressional chartered organizations and the Veterans Assistance Commission of Cook County. I'm only going to talk about Cook County because this is where we are. And that organization pretty much only allows you to be a delegate or an alternate if in fact you are a congressional charter organization, which we couldn't get one, and or you get under a service organization. Well, we can't get under it because you have to be a member. So they already have their delegate and their alternate, and they're all men. The whole committee now is men. They have 2 women who are alternates. Well, your delegates are already there, so they'll never have a voice to say.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're still fighting this battle to say that we don't need to do the opposite of what they do. We need to fair plane it, and everything that they do, we should be able to just register like we did all the 10 years that we were there making a difference for all of that. And we should be doing the same thing. But no, they've got us strung up saying that you can't be a part of this unless you get a letter of standing, good standing. If you don't tell us how much money you're giving to the community. All of these different things that they don't have to do at all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
wrong.
And it is wrong, and it's something that I think we have to battle for. But for the first time in Illinois, the adjutant general is African American. The first time in Illinois, the VFW commander is African American,
Wow.
Maurice. The senior vice, Eugene Blackwell, is right behind him to take over as a commander. Progress happens over time, and people have to learn that we are valid. We have our women have the right to be where they are and to hold positions.
Yes.
And it's the same thing for anyone of any race, creed, or color. Under the Constitution, we are equals.
That's right.
Right.
But if they
Well,
don't
one-
do it now, then when?
Okay.
Let's
so
not
Yeah,
forget
we
about
have
the
to-
Secretary of
Yeah.
Defense as a brother and the Chief of Staffs. the chairman, the chief of staff.
So
is a
Cliff, what
brother.
do you want to do about it?
I just wanted to say that we know there are black women who are involved in the military because you
Okay, so Cliff, how can
you and I have been to some of their meetings.
We
Yes.
have. So Cliff, how
There,
can
and there's a whole bunch of, and I
Cliff,
just,
we're running out of time, so I
Okay.
need to know, how do you want to proceed with helping Rochelle and the National Women Veterans United get their chapter that they have earned and deserve? What are we going to do about it?
we got-
Rochelle, tell us what to do. We're about to start doing it.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
as simple as that. We'll call Congressman Danny Davis because he is one of our advisory board members. So we're going to get this done because you all have earned the right to have a chapter.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Fairly. You're not
Ex-
asking for
exactly.
nothing outside the scope of what's not already there.
And what we
you
earn,
remember I told,
and what we
I
earn.
told you, let me say this, I told you when we went to one of those black women events,
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm gonna be careful what I say, cause they will kick my ass. I'm gonna be, oh no, I'm fighting, I got a lot of gas, but I'm, no.
Okay, so we have an announcement to make.
Yes.
When Ivan Ortega of Scouts Honor Production came in and became our digital media producer, he took the show to a whole different plateau in terms of delivery and presentation. We started getting calls and emails in complimenting us, saying you look like NPR, you look like C-SPAN, you look like CNN. This is wow. And so based on that, I noticed that the metrics, I started looking at things because we market through Buzzsprout. What is Buzzsprout? Buzzsprout does for radio and social media what Nelson does for TV. It tells you your numbers, it tells you your reach, it tells you the demographic, it breaks down everything. So currently, as of today, our podcast downloads overall that we started October 2020 is 5,739,000 and some. We are in 1,115 cities. We are in 69 countries, and we are in the top 8 cities in the United States of America. We have 113,000 YouTube subscribers on our channel. So it is my pleasure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it has been this group overall that Cliff took up under his reputation, his integrity, and springboarded, because it started with his name, his reputation, the Cliff Kelley Show, and he took it by the horns and he didn't let go of it.
Yes.
So I am happy to announce, but a little sad in a way, because today is our last show on WVON 1690 AM. Because we have more than 20 programming partners that are a part of this organization, and we don't have the room to program it in the way that we need. So this is our last day. We're relaunching July 10th, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time through YouTube, Facebook, and moving forward from there. So it has been an honor and a pleasure to be on this channel. I want to always be grateful and thankful to Melody and Pierre of the WVON and the WVON family for allowing us to have a broker show that was new. They didn't know how it was going to happen. They didn't know what it was going to become of. So thank you for allowing us to be a broker show on Saturdays. But we are relaunching July 10th, 5 p.m. You can still view us through Facebook, YouTube channel, because we have to move on from 5 to 8 o'clock p.m. to accommodate all the programming shows that we have. We have more than 20 partners that are different programming shows that will be being filtered through America's Heroes Group platform. So that's the only reason, because we have to move where the market has already taken us. We are in 1,115 cities. We are in 8 major cities. We have 5,700,000 downloads on a podcast that we started less than 4 years ago. We started the first podcast October 2020. We must move on to find room to allow this programming show to expand and grow, so others can still get the resources and information that comes through this platform. So this group will always be this group. We just have to move to a bigger platform so that the show can keep expanding and growing. So once again, oh my God, to Melody and Pierre, thank you so much. It will be Wednesdays from 5 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time starting July 10th. But today is our last show. So to all of you all, you can still listen and follow this show starting July 10th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time through our YouTube channel and Facebook page. So, wow, I'm not gonna cry.
Wow.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, but it is.
When you
It
move up,
is.
you don't cry.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
because
that's
it'll
right.
allow you to expand into other
Absolutely.
places, Rochelle. It would
Absolutely.
just do what it's going to do. It's
Yeah.
already has taken
Yeah.
feet. Because if 5,700 people have
Yeah.
downloaded a podcast from one Saturday, what would it do if we had more time and space to do
Absolutely.
even more?
Yeah.
So we have to go where it is because it's
Yes.
already there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew something
So-
was going to happen a few years ago. And someone called in and they said, we were talking to them, and they said, we were like, where are you calling from? Australia.
Okay, I got a call to the office because what people would normally do after listening to the show, they were calling to the office. So some lady in Alaska was listening and called her girlfriend in California because her son was a National Guard person and he was trying to get his benefits.
Yes.
So he called in because he was having problems. It's a different benefit package from full-time and part-time, and
Yes,
he did
it
not
is.
know that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa, Alaska? Okay. This is something, and this was like three years ago. I'm like, okay, this has done something totally different.
Oh,
And then when I started looking at those numbers, they were just, so we averaging like anywhere from a soft 70,000. We have gone up to 100,000 downloads of podcasts in 1 week.
Yeah.
I got proof of it through Buzzsprout.
Yeah.
See, people can talk their ass off. The numbers gonna tell the truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we market the show in terms of finding out where the reach is through Buzzsprout. That's how I know what we are doing and where we're going.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, a lot of things that happen just on a real level of reaching out to veterans.
Yes.
Yeah.
The veterans things that you gave away, the you know, different donations that were made to different groups.
Yeah.
To make sure that the groups were, you know, getting something for the veterans to actually survive. Having the Department of Defense as partners, the Veterans Administration come on, the criminal justice system with the court system.
Yeah.
These are real practical things that change people's lives.
Yes.
Sean's, you know, talking about all of the financial stuff. Rochelle talking about women's veterans issues.
Yeah.
And then coming back, you know, talking
Legal.
about Nesto with legal
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
That's where veterans
And you
are
healthcare.
trying.
But the healthcare I've noticed have been
Yeah.
one of our biggest shows. The
Yeah.
biggest three shows is healthcare, benefits, and housing.
Yeah.
And then jobs.
Yes.
And then legal stuff. And yeah, so it's like all the components, but I can see the most popular ones in terms of the greater needs.
Yes.
But benefits have been the #1 show.
Yes.
So you know,
Oh,
we
yeah.
partner with Chicago Regional Benefits Office. We partner with Jesse Brown VA. I'm getting ready to meet with them because they want to launch it into the national. It's just so huge now. It's to the point you all just don't know. Sometime at nighttime I can barely sleep because I'm so tired, but I'm so excited because I saw what God did. He
Yes.
took cotton balls from out of our pockets and put it where it is now. You all don't know it was Congressman Danny Davis who gave us money to pay for some shows. It was Cliff who dipped into his savings to pay for shows to keep it going. It's one time I called Ernesto and got some money from. It's one time that Dr. Arnold had paid for shows because we didn't get supported for some reason, but it's okay. It's okay because God kept it going. So don't no man own us. That's why we free, and that's why our people from the red states and the blue states have united to become the purple states on this show. Because the resources of information is there, and it's fairly there. Because housing is for everybody. Benefits is for everybody. Healthcare. So that's how we do it. And that's why you all have responded, and it's because of you. And this show will always remain about you.
Yeah. And it was important to get the actual information from the people who administer those benefits.
Yes.
Because there's so many, like he say, she say stuff.
Misinformation, defamation, yeah.
Misinformation, and people were like I didn't do that, or you didn't do that. Well, that wasn't even about that part. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So that was so important
Yeah.
to have all of those people here.
And the fact that you guys came aboard, Rochelle, with with your integrity and your experience in Illinois and being in the VA and all this, you brought a whole different platform because women found a voice through this show,
Yes,
through
they
your
did.
yes. So it has been a unit, and we're gonna remain a unit. We just have to go where the blessings are leading us.
Yeah.
Because
And
there's
one,
so many other organizations out there like you that need a voice.
Yeah,
So you're gonna be one of the voices that give them voice.
that's true.
Yeah.
and one of the things that the people who are listening need to know is that we love all of you. If you're in the United States, all of you are our family members. Our veterans, your family members, our Gold Star families, our Blue Star family, all of you are part of this show, and it's part of you. And all the people that we served the American people.
Right.
So everything that's going on in this show, you have different bipartisan things and issues coming up and all that, but know that we care about you.
Absolutely.
Great.
So you all, on behalf of the governor of Talk Radio,
Yes.
Rochelle, Sean, Dr. Arnold, Ernesto, Ivan, Manny, who has
Manny,
been the,
yes.
I mean, the Picasso of a graphic designer website.
Yes.
So on behalf of this group that has been the foundation of America's Heroes Group, stay tuned. We are relaunching July 10th, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can still view us through Facebook and our YouTube channel.
And don't
Blessings
forget,
and love you
Hand
all.
salute.
info at
Salute.
americashg.org. Send us
Salute.
emails and make sure you check out all our old shows on YouTube and Facebook. You
You
can
download,
like, subscribe, and
Yeah.
download and check out any information you missed on any previous show.
And I think Cliff would say something like, be there or be square.
Have a wonderful
July 10th.
weekend, everybody. We off.